Hi, my name is Alexx, and though you probably know me as an actor, I'm also a musician, and that's what I'll be talking about today. There are so many struggles that artists face, but for me as a musician, I think that the biggest struggle that I've had in my journey so far has been learning all of the things that are so incredibly important to getting your music out there that you wouldn't necessarily associate with music when you begin studying and playing and composing and recording music. And what I mean by that is that a lot of my time is taken up in the business of music. In other words, dealing with my distributor to make sure that my music reaches all 240 territories and is available on essentially every music platform around the world, and also making sure that the videos are shot and edited and posted and available on YouTube around the world as well. And then of course making sure that they're promoted, making sure that people hear about them when they release. So all of the things that I had to learn after having become a musician, I would say those things have been the biggest struggle, because they're not things that I'm necessarily passionate about. I'm passionate about composing music and performing it. I also really enjoy the process of recording it, but when it comes to promoting it, when it comes to the business of music, I have a really difficult time with it. I began my musical journey when I was maybe 14 or 15 years old, when I started teaching myself how to play guitar using magazines. I would see my favorite band or musician on the cover of the magazine, and then I would buy it, and then inside would be instructions on how to play my favorite songs, whether it was from U2 or Counting Crows or REM or Pearl Jam or Nirvana. These were the bands I really looked up to. And ever since then, when I was playing other people's music or I was composing my own, it was just a comfort for me. It was something that touched my soul, and I think from then on, I realized that music was going to be a huge part of my life. Whether that turned into a profession or whether it was going to just be something that I did, like some people write journals or they write diaries, and they never turn into novels, they never turn into autobiographies, but I would always write music, whether or not that was going to turn into albums or singles or music videos or even be heard outside of my friend circle. I didn't know, but I knew that I wanted to make music for many reasons, but one of the most important was because it really helped me to move beyond some of the emotions that I was feeling when I was younger. I don't do it as work. That's how I stay interested and motivated. I do it as my therapy. A lot of people talk about music therapy. Well, music is my therapy. It is my way of working through negative emotions, dealing with mistakes, dealing with regrets, and out of all of that negativity comes something beautiful, comes a melody that I love, a poem that I write and I'm very happy with. So I'm motivated because I love music. I love composing. The other parts of being a musician, the promotion of music, the distribution of music, those things are a little bit harder for me to stay motivated because, once again, that's not really my passion. But having a great team that keeps pushing me forward, looking at the past and seeing just how great it feels to have my music out there, looking at the comments and the feedback that I get really motivates me to move forward. So I would say that the music itself is motivating and interesting to me, but what really brings me through the business of music, through the deployment, the distribution, and the promotion, I would say that it's actually two things. It's one, the support that I get from my team, but mostly from the audience. The things that people tell me about how they connect with the music or the music videos, I find that really touches me in a way that I can't really describe. And two, each time I have a song release and a video release, I'm kind of shown once again that it's possible, and that there is, you know, a light at the end of the really long tunnel that is releasing a single. Usually the way that I write is I live life, and then sometimes I will go home and I'll sit with a guitar on my lap, this guitar, for example, and I will strum chords and hum melodies, and out of that will come my original music. So I guess the simplest answer is that I live life, and sometimes I make mistakes. And when I make mistakes, I tend to dwell on them. And when I dwell on them, I tend to do that while holding a guitar. And that's where my music comes from. My daily life, my relationships, my adventures, where I go, who I meet, what happens along the way. All of my songs are based on events that happened in my life. And that can get me into trouble sometimes, because obviously some of the most poignant moments in my life have been within the walls of my relationships. So there are songs that are about people. I try not to talk too much about who the songs are about, but I think that my music is honest because I write from personal experience, and I don't know how to write any other way. So I'm inspired simply by my life. Honestly, I'd have to say that my biggest accomplishment as a musician was independently releasing my first single and music video, Still on My Mind, which you can find wherever you listen to music, and the video is available on YouTube as well. It's a beautiful video. So I think that getting from composition through, let's say, deployment, release, distribution, running through all of those stages, getting it all done, even though it wasn't optimally done, even though there's so many mistakes that I made, even though it was the first time that I was promoting an original single and an original music video, and if I could go back, I would change just about everything. I would say that was still the biggest accomplishment. It really felt good to finally have my music out there, and it showed me that it was possible to do it independently. I don't talk a whole lot about it, but I was signed to a music label for some time, and for whatever reason, we decided to go our separate ways. But I was committed to getting my music out on my own terms, and by getting Still on My Mind onto every streaming platform on the globe, in almost every territory on Earth, and to have the music video get so many views and continue to get so many views on YouTube, showed me that it was possible and inspired me to work even harder to get my next song, the Bhagavad Gita song, and my song after that, 20 Days, and so on, to get my music out there. Just showing me that it was possible was so important to me. So I would say that that was my biggest accomplishment. At the moment, I'm working on my fourth single. It's actually my third English single. It's more of a rock song. a lot more distortion and driving electric guitar, and it's part of the progression from Still on My Mind, which is very acoustic, 20 Days, which is at times orchestral. This next song is a quintessential rock song, and I'm incredibly excited to share it with everyone. Releasing one song and music video every month. That's my goal. So I think that it might happen that I release one song every month and a half, or even 2 months, depending on what I have releasing as an actor. But that's what I'm working on right now. I would say the best piece of advice that I could give my audience would be to create. Never before have the tools to make music been so accessible to so many